What is going on, everybody? It's the France, and we're back again for a Monday Night Raw review. Monday, October 8th, 2018. And I've got to just admit that this is my second time recording this because I was in the middle of recording this the first time, and I realized I had my SmackDown overlay on, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Luckily, I was only into the beginning of the show, so I didn't get too much into my thoughts. So we're going to continue this on with our actual Monday Night Raw overlay. Now, Monday Night Raw tonight show we had two heel turns, two rematches from the Super Showdown. So what was the point of the Super Showdown if all you're going to do is give us rematches? We have another one of those coming tomorrow night with the stipulation that Becky Lynch gets disqualified, she will lose her SmackDown title, which, okay, whatever. And we also had the confirmation of two matches, one for Evolution, one for Crown Jewel. We also had another two matches from Evolution next for a tag team match. So, two matches from Evolution were next for a tag team match, which quite honestly I am fine with because it does actually protect the two legends who were supposed to be in singles matches for a tag team match, because one, as we know, it is Trish and Lita versus, it's now going to be Trish and Lita versus Alexa Bliss and Mickie James, and I do say that it is better for Mickie James and Alexa Bliss to be, not Mickie James and Alexa Bliss, but Trish and Lita to be in a tag team match to protect them, because, of course, they are great wrestlers, they are great, they are two of the best of all time, but they have not been in the ring on a regular basis in over 10 years, so it helps them out from being, overexposed or being, it helps out, and especially with Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus, which we all know was going to be a trash match. Anyway, Mickie James versus Lita would have been great on its own, but putting these four in a tag team match also keeps us from having to watch Alexa Bliss not do much for herself against Trish Stratus, so I'm fine with that. Again, we had two heel turns. We'll talk about those in a bit. And then, of course, we did have Crown Jewel and Evolution built to the best that they could for both men and women. Crown Jewel, of course, I already know how Crown Jewel is going to be. It's going, because the World Cup they're going to do, and we're going to talk about that because it's already pissed me off. We're going to have four from Raw, four from SmackDown, so it's an 8-man tournament. That's about, 7 matches? You're going to have two title matches with the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship, and then the opening of the show, which was Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement as DX reunites to take on the Brothers of Destruction. That is Crown Jewel in a nutshell. You're going to have the World Cup, you're going to have the two title matches, and then you're going to have DX versus the Brothers of Destruction. That is 10 matches right there. So there's really not going to be much of anything else on Crown Jewel. So boom, there you go. Your Crown Jewel is going to be the World Cup, which is bogus. The real World Cup was what Culture Pro Wrestling did last year. That was a real World Cup. What WWE is doing right now is a farce and a joke, and I'll get to that later. You're going to have the world title, you're going to have the WWE Championship, AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan, and then Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman, and then, of course, DX versus the Brothers of Destruction. That is your pay-per-view. That is your Crown Jewel 5 days after Evolution. So that is basically all you got to know there. The opening of the show was Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and the ending of the show was The Shield versus the Dogs of War in a rematch from the Super Showdown. So what was the point of Super Showdown if all you were going to do was put one of the big matches of the show on again on Monday Night Raw? And that wasn't the only match we got from Super Showdown again. We also had the Bellas and Ronda Rousey versus the Riot Squad again. Who do you think won that one, and what do you think happened after? That was heel turn number 2. The other heel turn of the night, and I don't know if it was a double turn or what, we also had Bobby Lashley take on Kevin Owens after the first segment, and Leo Rush was given a chance. Oh my goodness, we'll talk about that later. Leo Rush was given a microphone, and the crowd in Chicago pretty much crapped all over Bobby Lashley, and Lashley literally destroyed Kevin Owens' knees. So either A, Kevin Owens is injured and this was him writing him off, or B, Kevin Owens is going to be a babyface now. Um, I've never seen Kevin Owens as a babyface outside of his debut match in NXT Takeover. What was it? NXT Takeover. Uh, what was it? It was the December Takeover in 2014. I can't remember what that one was. It was the one where Sami Zayn won the championship and then Kevin Owens turned on him. But he entered the show practically as a babyface as he took on CJ Parker when CJ Parker broke his nose. That was the only inkling, and then of course when he came down and embraced Sami Zayn, that was the only inkling of a babyface that you had of Kevin Owens in WWE. So is Kevin Owens a babyface in WWE? I don't know, but it looks like we're pointing to a babyface Kevin Owens. But Shawn Michaels is coming out of retirement as DX reunites, and they have some a response to what happened between him, the DX, and the Brothers of Destruction at WWE Super Showdown.
The word that has lost its significance as of late.
Respect, yes, it has. Just like love, just like hate, just like any of those words that had meaning. Just like the chant, this is awesome. We've had matches. We've had stare downs between 2 or 3 superstars before a match even starts, where fans are chanting, "This is awesome," and nothing has even happened yet. Yeah, it's awesome that these two or three superstars are in the middle of the ring, getting ready to fight, but let them do something. Just like anytime you hear, "Oh, I respect you." Well, what? I haven't done anything, so why? It is true. Respect, love, hate, and any kind of other word like that has lost significance. So I will say that.
Respect. Respect is not something that Sean and I give very easily. It takes a lot to earn our respect. Respect, like when someone you idolize takes you under their wing from day one, because they see something special in you. They help you to become something more.
That's got to be Ric Flair. It just feels like that's Ric Flair because Triple H. I mean, I know Triple H was already an established name, but it's just, and it could be somebody else. But you're talking about Triple H and Shawn Michaels. I don't know who Shawn Michaels would have had taken Shawn Michaels under his wing, but but it just feels like that was Ric Flair, what he's talking about right there. I'm guessing on these ones.
Respect, like when you spend your entire career fighting everyone and everything side by side, back to back, fighting the world together. That is respect.
Sounds like Triple H and Shawn Michaels when they were younger.
Respect.
This one's Shawn.
Is when you stick to your word, even though everyone tells you not to.
And he's looking right at Shawn when he says this.
Encourages you not to. They make every opportunity for you not to, but you stick to your word. That is respect.
And in about 2 minutes, all the respect that Shawn Michaels had for the fans, for the wrestling business, even The Undertaker, even though he'll explain why he is coming out of retirement, is all going to go out the window right here.
You know, sometimes respect someone. Sometimes respect them for what they used to represent. And then it dawns on you that respect is no longer a two-way street. You know, I don't know how many of you have had the opportunity to make the flight from Melbourne, Australia to Chicago, but it is a long freaking way. A long time to sit there and think. Think about the last 8.5 years. 8.5 long years that I have sat there and honored my word out of respect. A respect that never existed at all. When those wheels touched down in Chicago, that door opened. I was about to walk off that plane. You walked up to me, looked me in the eye, and said 3 words that I never, ever thought I'd hear again.
Even though I believe Triple H said these words at Raw 1000 and what was it, 2012, Raw 25, and any other DX reunion between Raw 1000 and now. So, him to even say that Triple H, oh, I've never thought I'd hear these words again, you're full shit, because Triple H has said these words countless times for every DX reunion that we've had over the last 6 years.
But the question isn't for Shawn, because I know he is. The question is for The Undertaker. The question is for Kane. The question is for the Brothers of Destruction. Crown Jewel. The question is, are you ready? D-Generation X is ready. Kane, Undertaker, Brothers of Destruction. I say this with absolutely no respect at all. If you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
So they ripped their shirts off and they have new DX shirts with, it says it's got D-Generation, and then of course, D-Generation underneath this little screen, this like gray circle with a green outline, has EST 1997 with 2 arms that are like boned with the 2 sweet, yeah, I think it's the 2 sweet, crossed as the X for DX, which is kind of fitting because these guys will be wrestling for the rest of their lives until they are just nothing but bone. So yeah, that's kind of fitting. So that's how Monday Night Raw kicked off with the DX reunion again. I've let my feelings know about this match, about Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement. You said you were done. You said you weren't going to wrestle anymore. You gave your promise to not just The Undertaker, but the entire WWE Universe and the wrestling business. And you're coming out of retirement just for the almighty dollar of Saudi Arabia. Come on, Shawn. You're better than that, man. I don't want to see it. I didn't even, like, the match at Super Showdown went 27 minutes. It went 15 minutes too long, in my opinion. 15 to 20 minutes too long, in my opinion. That match should have been done and over in no time. But, yeah, we got DX back. Whoop-de-doo. And, like, you had Michael Cole say it's a bone-chilling moment. No, it's not. 10 years ago? Yes. 10 years ago, you know, the goosebumps are there and everything. I'm sitting here like, we knew this was coming. Great, it's done. Can we just move on? I honestly did have that feeling like, oh my God, I got the goosebumps coming. The goosebumps are coming. It's just not there anymore. Shawn should retire. You got, like, Shawn, Triple H, Undertaker, and Kane should all retire. They should all retire. I'm done with this. We need to start building for other talent to make them the next DX or the next Undertaker or Kane. In not the fact that they're going to replace those guys, but like in 10 years, we could see those, like when those superstars are part-timers or something, they'll come back and be the nostalgia act. Right now, you don't have anybody other than like a John Cena, a Randy Orton, a Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Undertaker, Kane. It's just sad that this is how WWE is. And as I reported on Unscripted this past week, when Kevin Nash said nobody cares about the young guys, he was absolutely right. And this again proved it. Make sure to check out Unscripted. It is on the YouTube channel right now. I'll have a nice little card in the process here for you guys to check that out. But that was the opening for Raw, and then we moved on to Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens. Why they gave Leo Rush a microphone? It was quite clear that one, Kevin Owens was super over in Chicago, and Bobby Lashley was super reviled in Chicago. You had Leo Rush being a pain on the microphone, but the entire time, every time he was like, come on, cheer for my man, Lashley, the crowd would boo heavily. So this was pissing Bobby Lashley off. Bobby Lashley did win this match with I would say that Owens did hit a stunner, and I thought he was going to beat Bobby Lashley there, but that didn't happen. He does win with a modified Dominator. after he did he crotched Kevin Owens in the corner, and Kevin Owens started trying to get his leg down, because his knee, he was starting to grasp the knee, and he gets hit with the modified Dominator, and 1, 2, 3, Kevin Owens loses to Bobby Lashley, but he's crying, he's like screaming in pain the entire time on his left knee. One, I hope it's a work, and two, if it is a bad injury, that sucks for Kevin Owens, and it would not be good for WWE. Post-match, Kevin Owens is trying to get out of the ring and trying to get back up. Leo Rush sends Bobby Lashley down there again, and Bobby Lashley utterly destroys Kevin Owens' legs, both of them. He does work on the injured leg on the ring post the first time, goes to leave again, comes back, grabs Kevin Owens again, and hits the other leg against the ring post, and then the injured leg again. So Bobby Lashley is confirmed to be a heel, which, quite honestly, the fact that Leo Rush on 205 Live is a heel, then this was good timing for Bobby Lashley. Will he be going for the Universal Championship? Don't know, don't care. But hopefully there was all work, and I'm pretty sure it was. But Kevin Owens is one hell of a seller, and Bobby Lashley is now a bona fide heel. Let's see where this goes. Then they talked about, John Cena was announced for the World Cup. Again, John Cena showed favoritism over everyone else. You have, tomorrow night on SmackDown, you have Randy Orton versus The Big Slow, the Big Old Show, who has no business being in the ring anymore. But it's going to be The Big Show versus Randy Orton, and it's going to be Jeff Hardy versus Samoa Joe, which, one, you kind of kill the entire Jeff Hardy being out, because he was too damaged from Hell in a Cell. So, okay, I guess 3 weeks or 4 weeks later, he's all fine and dandy to come back to 3 weeks later, he's all fine and dandy to come back to wrestle. No. Jeff Hardy should not return. Let's give this guy a break to heal more than 3 weeks. This guy should be out for, I don't know, Royal Rumble, not the Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, TLC, one of those times. Not now. It's too early. You just kill anything for, Jeff Hardy does need to rest up and does need to get himself back into able to work, so he can have his last final run before he also retires, and him and his brother move out, go off into the sunset for the rest of their days. But yeah, they show this World Cup, and when they talked about the qualifying matches and they showed that from tomorrow, I'm like, wait a minute. I think Samoa Joe's from California. Big Show, I don't remember where exactly he's from. Randy Orton's from St. Louis, Missouri, and Jeff Hardy's from Cameron, North Carolina. All four of these men are representative of the United States. So basically, what you're doing is you're giving us a half-assed World Cup. First and foremost, anybody who's a real wrestling fan, Kushida won the legit World Cup last year when What Culture Pro Wrestling put it on, when they were working with other indie promotions to give us a legit World Cup. They had the United States, Canada, Japan, Mexico, Germany, the rest of the world, England, of course, Ireland, I think, was in there too. But they had multiple fucking months. This World Cup that they did last year lasted for months. They started in March, I believe, and they had mini tournaments for each part of the thing. You had England, you had UK, you had USA, you had Canada, Japan, Mexico, and all them, and they had their own branches. The two finalists from those qualifiers went to the final 16, in which they would go off to see who was number one. It ended up going down to Will Ospreay versus Kushida in an excellent fucking match. That entire thing was great. Here, no, we get 4 from Raw, 4 from SmackDown, and tonight we had John Cena, who just got put in there, no qualification whatsoever. Fuck you, John Cena. And 2, we had a bogus Battle Royal, which I'm not even getting into, which was won by a quote-unquote conquistador, which turned out to be Kurt Angle. So Monday Night Raw's first 2 of the 4 are USA and USA. Are you fucking kidding me? You have a quote-unquote World Cup. Okay, Raw, John Cena for the US, fine. Then you have Finn Balor, you have Drew McIntyre, and you have Kevin Owens. There's your other, and there's 4. Yeah, John Cena, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens. There's your Monday Night Raw. SmackDown, you have Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy, the winner goes on to the World Cup because Samoa Joe should be doing other things. You have Andrade Cien Almas, you have Sheamus, you have Cesaro, and there was another one too, wasn't there? Let's see. Sheamus, Cesaro, Almas, and Jeff Hardy or Randy Orton. There's your 4 for SmackDown. There you go. You have your World Cup instead of this bogus bullshit where we're going to have USA, 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 USA. Watch the fucking World Cup, this quote-unquote World Cup they're doing, have three USA members on each side and one from another country. That's not a fucking World Cup. That is fucking bogusness, and they know it. It's just fucking pathetic. This World Cup, we should have known that WWE's attempt at a World Cup would be nothing but a fucking sham. WWE just doesn't know how to do anything fucking right. You have a guy like Finn Balor. You have a guy like Kevin Owens, who hopefully is not injured. You have a guy like Drew fucking McIntyre on your fucking roster. And you're going to give you Kurt Angle and John Cena as 2 of the 4, because there's only 8 men in this time, like, quote-unquote World Cup, which, by the way, is a bogus number. If you're going to do a World Cup, have Triple H do it. Have Triple H do it as a tournament on the WWE Network, where you have members from Raw and SmackDown representing. You could have been doing this all summer into the fall. You could have had 64 men from all over the world, from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, representing, and UK as well, representing the WWE half of the brand, which would have been 32, and then 64 indie stars. And you know what you do? You take the 64 indie stars, the 32 indie stars and the 32 WWE stars, and you whittle it down to 8, and the 8 go to the go to Saudi Arabia, and then you find out who's the winner of the World Cup. So you wouldn't have any of this stupid bullshit. This is not a World Cup. This is a farce. This is a fucking bullshit tournament. It's a one-night thing, and it's just bad. If you're going to do a quote-unquote World Cup, do it all. You could do this all year round if you wanted to. If you wanted to start the night after SummerSlam, or like after SummerSlam, and you could have had WWE's portion on Raw and SmackDown, while the NXT, you could have NXT UK, and Indie Stars. Like the Indie Stars could have been done by Evolve, ICW, Progress. That's 3 of Indie promotions. This would also be like a World Cup for WWE could be beneficial if you have Progress, ICW, and Evolve on the WWE Network. So we can watch the NXT, NXT UK, and all those other ones. I mean, oh yeah, you also have Shinsuke Nakamura on SmackDown too if you want to put him in there, but he's going to be... The rumor is you're supposed to get Rey Mysterio versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship at Crown Jewel. But with you having 7 matches for the Crown Jewel for the World Cup yourself, 2 world title matches, and the DX versus Undertaker, Brothers in Destruction, you're not really going to go past 10 matches, are you? I mean, the Super Showdown had 10 matches, and they went 4 goddamn hours. Are we really going to go 5 goddamn hours for Crown Jewel? Give me a goddamn break. There's my rant on the World Cup. It's a farce. And it's not. And this is WWE's World Cup. It's a fucking joke. You want to give me a fucking World Cup? Give it to Triple H and have him go out and find talent from all over the goddamn world to give me a legit World Cup. You want to see a World Cup? Go look up World Culture Pro Wrestling, which is under Defiant Wrestling on YouTube right now. Now, I'm pretty fucking sure you can find the World Cup matches that they put on YouTube because it was all on YouTube. Go check those out. Go watch every single qualifying, and then go watch the live finals, which were done, I believe, by JR. Go watch those because that's a real World Cup, not this bullshit. Moving on here, BNB, Bayley and Balor were in the back being interviewed by Kayla Braxton about the rematch from the Mixed Match Challenge. Okay, I don't give a fuck what the Mixed Match Challenge is doing. I do not want to see high nor hair of rematches from that show on Raw or SmackDown. But they're in the back when Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush interrupt their interview.
Gentlemen, you know them. Team B&B. Match Challenge. Please welcome Finn Balor and Bayley.
Could they not have one of the more lamer names in Mixed Match Challenge. I mean, Mahalisha is not a good name either, but B&B was the best you come up with. Monster Eclipse, Team Pause, which is still not that good, but this is worse. The Fabulous Ravishing Rusev Day, Day One Glowish, Country Strength, or whatever the hell Mickey James and Bobby Lashley are. Those are better names than B&B. Are you fucking kidding me? Such a bad name. Such a bad name. Ben, stop smiling.
Bailey, tonight you have a rematch from last week's Mixed Match Challenge when you face Mahalisha. Now, you two have shown great teamwork. Are you worried that with another opportunity, Jinder and Alicia may...
I don't think they're even on the planet right now.
I mean, individually, they're both tough competition, but they're together. They're too worried about who's going to wear the captain's hat rather than figuring out how to beat us. Because Finn and I are like, he's in a pod.
Put her in jelly.
Do we have to do this?
Batman, Robin. Both Batman.
Both Batman.
Yeah,
I like
both.
that. I like Lashley! Didn't you just see what my man Bobby Lashley did out there to Kevin Owens? Did you see it? And Kayla, this is the scoop right here. The interview is right here. Talking about some hugs. We just saw that butt whooping I put out there. I ripped Kevin Owens into pieces. Team B&B, huh? Bailey and Balor. Was it Balor and Bailey? You know what? Fifth man of the hour's words. My man's power. Now that, my friend.
No, I think we're probably going to watch we get Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor next week for the hell of it. Because that's just how WWE likes to go with things. Oh, you wouldn't have to be last week, so I'm going to come out here and I'm going to wrestle you in a match. Then we had Elias sings the blues after Super Showdown's loss. And, you know, it's the same old shtick with Elias.
Hello, I am Elias.
I'm not a musician or anything, but is he not playing the same chord, the same bars, or the same like lines every time, or whatever it's called? He seems to be playing the same notes, other than at Super Showdown. It just seems like he's playing the same, like a different version of the same notes over and over every single week. Change it up. I mean, come on, change it up. Oh boy.
Now, when these legends of WWE, they are speaking about me, when Triple H, when The Undertaker, when Kane, when Shawn Michaels of WWE, they are speaking about me, whether they like to admit it or not. But one man that knows this is John Cena. Because John Cena knows deep in his heart what everyone here knows, and that is that WWE stands for. I said WWE stands for. And you guys know me. And I am always willing to admit when I am wrong, always. But the circumstances that led to the way things ended in Australia, that was not my fault. But
can we please forget about that match in Australia, because that was just garbage. Garbage. Complete and utter garbage.
I decided to put it into context. I wrote a song about it all. So right now I need you all to silence your cell phones. Hold your applause until after I am finished. But most importantly, shut your mouths. Us in Australia, but honestly, it wasn't fair. I was distracted by so many things, most of all, John Cena.
He is JBL Jr.
When I heard those Australian accents, I almost refused to do the show. When I thought things couldn't get any worse, well, they sent me to Chicago.
Yeah, they were in Chicago, so you know it's Smart Mark Town.
The Australian food was so gross, but man, I thought I caught a disease. Don't worry, I feel better knowing that the Cubs won't be in the World Series.
Yeah, so you know that nice little cheap heat we got last week. They're trying to do their best to, you know, get that, like, revive that from last week. The only thing that sucks about this is the fact that the Cubs actually won a World Series about 2 years ago. Yeah, 2016. Yeah, 2016. This would have actually probably been, this would have probably, like, eclipsed Seattle had the Cubs actually not been to the World Series and won it in 2016. So, yeah, that's WWE is going to continue to try and get that cheap heat with Elias, which, of course, that's just his job. They're not even close. It's loud, but not even close to what Seattle did last week. He gets interrupted by Ronda Rousey, and we're into our next match, which was Ronda Rousey and the Bella Twins versus the Riot Squad. Who did you think was going to win this match? Ronda Rousey actually got tagged in early in on this match. I was like, wow, they're bringing her in already? Brie actually started this match this time, and it was her and, of course, Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan looked like, as Renee Young said, she looked as focused as ever. She, like, I still do not forget what you did to me 2 weeks ago, so I'm going to come in here and whip your ass. Ronda Rousey actually makes Ruby Riott tap out with the Bella Twins pulling Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan off the apron so they couldn't help out Ruby Riott. Post-match, though, we all saw this coming. I'm surprised they didn't do this on Saturday. Why they didn't do this on Saturday is beyond me. But the Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey are celebrating. She hugs Nikki. Goes to look like she wants to go hug Brie, and Nikki attacks her from behind, and the Bella Twins assault Ronda Rousey. They assault Ronda Rousey and, you know, just beat the holy hell out of her. But why? Why did the Bella Twins attack Ronda Rousey? Well, we have a Raw exclusive to why they attacked Ronda Rousey.
You guys just attacked someone who's been by your side as your side, taking up our space, standing in front of us. Brie and I are here for Evolution, but we're here to remind everyone, Ronda Rousey, that this is a...
Oh, for fuck's sake, who wrote that shit? And we're all wondering, why is Nikki Bella, and it has been confirmed that Nikki Bella will take on Ronda Rousey at Evolution, as we all knew was coming, but we all wonder why Nikki Bella is in this position. It's been the same shit since before. She is with John Cena, whether they want to say she isn't or not. It has been shown that they were around each other or in each other's vicinity in Australia. So saying that, oh well, they've broken up, nah, that's bullshit. That was done for the cameras. These two, John Cena and Nikki Bella, are still dating, just more in private. But that still doesn't mean that Nikki Bella is getting favoritism from the help of John Cena. The reason that she is the longest reigning Divas champion, that old ugly butterfly belt, is because of John Cena. The reason her and Brie are back is not because they deserve to be in Evolution, is because Nikki Bella is with John Cena. Don't tell me otherwise. Believe that. Let's see here. We had B&B versus Mahalisha. Who gives a shit? B&B ends up winning. And then we had one of the more insulting things of the night. They already said John Cena is going to be in the World Cup, which I'm like, really? He doesn't even have to qualify? Bullshit. Then they decided we're going to have they said, oh, Baron Corbin has scoured the world for this international battle royal, the 10-man global battle royal, which was all set up to give Baron Corbin a easy trip to the World Cup, which again, as I said, is bullshit. When 4 of the 8 slots are USA, that's not a World Cup. It's USA versus the world. It is not a World Cup. WWE can spin it all they want, but it's not a fucking World Cup. Anyway, he goes down these lists of bums and jobbers and shit, and then they comes to this to Conquistador. So WWE goes into their bag of Attitude Era nostalgia and brings out one of the Conquistador suits. Conquistador gets hit in the beginning of this thing and powders outside and just sits by one of the ring posts while Baron Corbin lays waste to everybody else. Baron Corbin thinks he wins after eliminating 8 of the other guys. When the Conquistador he chases Conquistador back in. Conquistador hits 3 German suplexes, an angle slam, and you know who the fuck it is. The Conquistador turns out to be Kurt Angle, so Raw's side has USA man Kurt Angle and USA man John Cena representing Team USA in the bogus World Cup. So, yeah, so much for that international flavor in a whatever you want to call World Cup. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. It's nothing but bullshit. Moving on here, we had Nia Jax versus Ember Moon in, I guess, friendly competition, which that's fine if you want to have a little bit of friendly competition. This one, Nia Jax was just, dominating Ember Moon through pillar and post, tossing her around, swatting her like a fly, just sending her all over the place. Ember Moon ends up winning this one because they ended up on the outside, and Ember Moon was over by the LED board, and Nia Jax decides to charge shoulder first into the LED board because Ember Moon moved, and the ref counts to 10 as Ember Moon barely beats the 10 count, and she wins the match. They do have a nice little handshake, hug and everything. They are still friends. No, I was like, please do not give me a third heel turn in this show. I do not want to see another fucking heel turn. One heel turn is fine. Oh my god, I can't believe they turned this guy heel. A third one would have been overkill, in my opinion. Just would have been complete and utter overkill. And then they had Trish Stratus come out, and it's not queued up on WWE's YouTube page. But anyway, Trish Stratus comes out and says something to the effect of, Little Miss Bliss here, I'm going to have to show her a little bit of a moment of stratisfaction when Alexa Bliss and Mickie James come out. And pretty much it all comes down to Alexa Bliss. She does make fun of Alexa Bliss's size and say that her math was off from last week because when Alexa Bliss said she met Trish Stratus, I think when she was 7, and Trish Stratus was not in the WWF at the time. She was, if I am correct, she was not even, I don't even think she was even a model yet in 1990 or something like that. But anyway, they come out, and instead of having singles matches at Evolution, they suggest, why don't we have a tag team match at Evolution with Alexa Bliss and Mickie James versus a partner of her choosing, and of course it would be Lita, because originally it was supposed to be Lita and Mickie James in a one-on-one match, and Alexa Bliss and Trish Stratus in a one-on-one match. Only thing I have to say, and my only problem with this is, you have 2 Hall of Famers, a future Hall of Famer in Mickie James, and then you have Alexa Bliss. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things doesn't belong. That happens to be Alexa Bliss. No reason whatsoever that Alexa Bliss should be in this match. It should be somebody else, but whatever. You're getting a tag team match instead of 2 singles matches, which in my opinion is better for Trish and Lita, because again, they haven't been active. They haven't been full-time active or part-time active in 10 years? They've done a match here and there, but they've always been multi-person matches, Royal Rumble tag team matches. stuff like that. Actually, I think this is Lita's first actual non-Rumble match since she retired back in, what was it, 2007? So 10, 11 years since Lita's actually wrestled a match in WWE. I think she wrestled a match in an indie show earlier this year or last year. Either way, so you're scrapping 2 singles matches, which helps. It does protect and hide the ring rust a little bit more for Trish and Lita, even though I know that they are good at what they do. I will say this, that Trish Stratus did show again why she is one of the best women to ever be on the mic. She did roast Miss Bliss herself, which she made a little Miss Bliss look like, oh, I don't know, second rate or third rate on the mic. So yes, we get a tag team match at Evolution between Trish and Lita, Team Bestie as they call themselves. So it's Team Bestie versus Team Bliss, if you want to go with that, whatever they want to call themselves. I'm fine with it. It does scale it back, so that means it's either it's one, I think, is because they did want to protect Trish and Lita, who have not wrestled regularly while Mickie James has been wrestling for the last 10 some years and continues to wrestle, and Alexa Bliss is just Alexa Bliss. And also because that means that they probably were like, well, we want to put all these matches on. Let's take Trish and Lita's matches and put them together and give them a tag team match. Or Trish and Lita, who have never teamed together, if I'm correct, in a tag team match. I think they might have in the Attitude. Yeah, I believe Christian and Chris Jericho. I think it was Trish and Lita versus Christian and Chris Jericho when that whole bet thing happened back in 2002. So maybe they requested the match to be condensed to a tag team match to, being able to have a tag team match with each other. But then we move, speaking of tag team matches, how many weeks has it been since Chad Gable and Bobby Roode joined forces? How many weeks has it been that they faced the Ascension in singles matches or tag team matches? We're on what, week 8 or 9? 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it is. I've lost fucking count. Again, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus the Ascension. You know how much the crowd gave fuck about this match? We got CM Punk chants during this match, and I honestly don't think I heard CM Punk chants for any other night besides this match. So no one gave a fuck. The dissension between Chad Gable and Bobby Roode, which looked like was starting to happen because Bobby Roode was going up for a blockbuster. Chad Gable tagged in, did his roll through German suplex with a bridge onto Victor, and they won the match. Bobby Roode looked like, what the fuck? I was about ready to do something in this match. They looked like they're about to have a little bit of dissension when all of a sudden AOP's music hits. They run down, they bulldoze over Connor, beat up on Chad Gable, Bobby Roode, and Victor, hit a super collider on Victor and Chad Gable, leaving all 4 men laying. So this is what the AOP should have been doing from day one. You take over and you run roughshod over the wannabe nobodies like the Breezangos, even though Tyler Fandango's hurt, the Ascensions, the B team, the Revival because they're garbage, everybody else. You just run roughshod over them and you beat the holy fuck out of them, and then you go on to win the tag team titles eventually. So this is the only positive part of this entire thing, was that the AOP came out and just laid waste to everybody. Other than that, give me something else other than the same thing for 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever amount of weeks it is in a row. Do you wonder why your ratings are falling? You wonder why people don't give a fuck anymore? That is why. I'm saying it, by this time next year, the only people going to be watching Raw are content creators who review Raw. That's me. That would be like the Ups and Downs by Simon Miller, the Graded for Cultaholic. Let me think here. Wrestle Talk, JD from NY206, myself, of course, I think I said that, Pro Wrestling Unlimited, because they do a review show here and there. Even Christian Miracle, if he happens to find something to sin from one of these shows. Other than that, most people are not going to be watching Raw by this time next year, if Raw is even a thing by then. Then they decided we're going to show we don't have anything else to do until the main event, so we're going to talk about what happened earlier in the night, and we're going to show a video package for D-Generation X. We have nothing else to do. We don't have any other fucking talent to use. So what are we going to do? We're going to just do filler, in which oh, I don't know. Let's show a video package of D-Generation X from 2007, like from pretty much everything they did in the last big run before Shawn Michaels retired, and a little bit of their first run. Then before we get into the main event, we had Paul Heyman come out, and he hyped up the Crown Jewel pay-per-view so much that I honestly thought Brock Lesnar was there tonight. He wasn't. He talked about how the Dogs of War and the Shield are going to come out here and beat the hell out of each other, even though they did at Super Showdown. That's what we do in the WWE. We go out there and we travel the world 7 days a week, twice on Sunday, to put smiles on everybody's faces. But unlike these guys, Brock Lesnar is going to be in his bed tonight. He's going to wake up in his house. He's going to have a home-cooked meal. He's going to go run a mile to his training camp, and he's going to get himself, on November 2nd, will be the two-time Universal Champion, and one of two titles he will win when he goes to beat Daniel Cormier and be a two-sport champion. It's not going to happen. It's not. The Shield versus the Dogs of War was an excellent match. The only big highlights from this thing were that Strowman, towards the end of the match, got into it with Ziggler, saying, "This is how you pull your weight," because earlier in the show, Dolph Ziggler's out there trying to, get it into their heads that we were one move away from beating the Shield on Saturday. Drew McIntyre's like, "You know what? I'm tired of you calling the shots, Dolph. And remember, it wasn't us who lost. It was you." Braun Strowman's like, "You two need to get your shit together because you guys are here to help me win the Universal Championship, because when that happens, it's best for all three of us." And that was early on. Towards the end of this match, he throws, I think it is Dean Ambrose, into the corner and says, "That's how you pull your weight," instead of making all these excuses, Dolph. Dolph gets in his face and yells at him. Drew McIntyre gets in the way, stops that, and then, of course, gets shoved into Braun Strowman by Seth Rollins. Dogs of War actually win this match with a Claymore to Ambrose. The biggest thing about this is, and the Shield also had their own promo earlier in the show where they did the classic, pull the camera up, and what they used to do when they were the Shield, when they were the actual Shield back in the day. Back in 2012, 13, and 14, where they would hold the thing up, do Ambrose, Rollins, Roman Reigns, and then they would cut their promos and then drop the camera. They did that too, and so they do not bend, they do not break, and they never stop. This is not a friendship, this is not a partnership, this is a brotherhood. But at the end of this match, the Dogs of War are off on the thing, celebrating. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are in the middle of the ring. Dean Ambrose is off to the side a little bit. Dean Ambrose goes under the bottom rope and just walks away, leaving Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns questioning, what the hell is he doing? So, the Dean Ambrose turn, is it going to happen? Does anyone care by now? See, the biggest thing about Seth Rollins' heel turn is that it came out of nowhere. Nobody saw it coming. And I didn't see Seth Rollins' heel turn happening until as soon as Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose walked forward and Seth Rollins did, I'm like, he's turning heel. Before that, I did not know it was happening. This teasing of a Dean Ambrose heel turn, it's just too much. It's too much. It doesn't need to happen like this. Why are you going to have Dean Ambrose tease turning heel at Super Showdown? Tease that there's dissension between him and why are you going to tease that stuff? We do not need to see this happen where we let it come natural. If you would have had Dean Ambrose help Seth Rollins win the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam, right? Do the Shield fist bump and then turn around and hit him with dirty deeds, that would have been amazing. That would have been what everybody would have been expecting, and that would have been out of nowhere. Nobody would have saw that coming. It would have been great for everybody if that's what you would have had happen. But no, what did you do? You had the Shield reform, and now you're just teasing everybody with the fact that, oh, Dean Ambrose, is he going to turn heel? What's going on with Dean Ambrose? He just walked out on the Shield after they got beat because he took the pinfall, even though he was the one who got the win on Super Showdown. So, WWE, you need to get your shit together, because that is not how you should be doing a heel turn. Minor teases is fine. Yes, like, yes, I didn't see Seth Rollins being the one to turn heel on the Shield coming. I mean, yes, somebody was going to turn heel because they were like teasing it back and forth, but it never pointed to Seth Rollins. It did point to Dean Ambrose at the when they had him turn heel, but that was more of a shock than what this is here. When Dean Ambrose turns heel, when it probably does, because it's probably going to happen, it just isn't going to feel. It's going to feel forced. It's going to feel out of place, and it's going to feel like they wasted our time. I think it's a little too late for the Dean Ambrose heel turn. I don't know if it's going to be worth it anymore. I don't. And that was basically Monday Night Raw. The main event was good. It was exciting. The crowd was into it the entire time. The opening segment, the Trish Stratus stuff, was all you need to see. I mean, yes, you had the Bella Twins turn heel. Who gives a flying fuck about the damn Bella Twins? I know I don't. But that is your Monday Night Raw review. I'll be back here tomorrow for SmackDown Live, where we have 2 qualifying matches for the bogus, absolute bogus match at World Cup, as well as Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. And they also announced The Miz will host Miz TV with both AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. What will happen there? We'll have to just wait and see. Until then, my name is DeFrance. Find me on Twitter at DeFrance. Find me on twitch.tv/DeFrance08. I will want to say, though, I do have a poll up on Twitter. It's pinned to my page. What did you think of tonight's Raw? Did you good, bad, or watch something else? Make sure to hit that. Go over there and vote. And I will see you guys next time for SmackDown Live.